We are isolated today. Not all of us, but a lot of us. Us, as people, have grown apart from each other, and we feel like we don't have other people by our sides anymore. While this has always been an issue, it has been accentuated by the fact that bigger and bigger companies are wiping out the smaller ones, and people don't relate to other people in a big company as well as they do into a smaller one. Big companies such as Walmart, Target, and Amazon are all very hard to relate to because we don't know the owners on an everyday hello basis. Small towns, ones such as Saratoga and Burbank, have a greater sense of community, and residents of these small towns would argue that this is because of the lack of big box superstores. This means that relationships are formed with the smaller stores that are available in the town. Some time ago in the United States, there were no humongous companies that dominated lots of markets. There were only small companies that could specialize in certain areas. Fast forward to today, and big box companies have done what many considered unthinkable. They have become the master of all markets. Companies such as Walmart, Google, Amazon, and Target now offer convenience to all markets. Target and Walmart allow people to experience the luxury of a one-stop shop lifestyle, that being a store that contains all everyday essentials such as food, water, toiletries, clothing, furniture, entertainment, etc. And Google now supplies the everyday person with the convenience of life attributes, with all information a person may ever need to know right at their fingertips. These companies are now very practical, but they aren't helping us bring each other together. But in what we have gained in convenience, we have lost in relationship. Even though now the essentials of life are now easier to obtain than ever before, we now lack in community. When going to a bigger store, such as Target or Walmart, the abundance of faceless people makes it seem as if there is a disconnect between yourself and reality. We don't empathize with strangers that well. We don't take time out of our days to get to know someone unless we absolutely have to do so. The sense of community is not as easy to get now as it once was. As the days go by, staying inside and not facing the real world is becoming more and more of a possible route to go in life. And one day, you may never have to leave your house at all. To summarize so far, the rising corporate power has led to a loss in community. Bigger stores where you can get lost in a sea of people you don't know means you don't have to say hello to them if you don't want to, and online shopping means that human interaction can be avoided altogether. So what places do exuberate a sense of community? A quite simple answer: the places that need it. Small towns are known for having a greater sense of community because of what they are: small. When a town is known for having a small population, getting to know the people from within that town can be easy. Every person that is met and every relationship that is formed is important, simply because you see the same people around so often that you know them very well. This extends further past friends. It goes to store and business owners. It is easy to get to know the manager of a local supermarket because, again, you see them around a lot, and you form a relationship with them. It is in the word of relationship: relate. You can relate to these people because you know them. Bigger companies want to get bigger. That means expanding to more and more areas, including smaller ones. What ends up happening is companies look to reach out to people that may see some use in their business, and in this case, that is smaller cities. And a consequence of this is that the smaller stores have to try and outcompete the bigger ones. This situation can be described as a David versus Goliath one, where one side is heavily favored to win. Take Whole Foods Market, for example, which is now owned by Amazon. Whole Foods Market, which was once an independently owned company, is now a part of one of the biggest companies in the world, which means that they have infinitely more resources at their fingertips than the smaller mom-and-pop stores down the street. In this specific scenario, a local farmer's market is now going to have to try and outcompete Whole Foods, which is incredibly difficult due to the fact that Whole Foods is available all week whereas a farmer's market only comes around once a week or so. Often, the smaller company does not win, and the bigger company prevails. In July of 2012, it was revealed to the residents of Burbank, California, that a Walmart would be opening in the town. Immediately, people began protesting against the company, all in hopes that a Walmart would not open. According to some residents in a news report, they believe that the Walmart has a history of taking away small town communities, even going as far to say that it is the new evil empire. Chanting sayings such as "No Walmart, be smart," these people are willingly protesting the opening of a big box superstore because they are afraid of what it will do to their community. They like having a small community, and they feel as if the Walmart will destroy that, along with lowering the property values within the city. Obviously, smaller businesses don't have the manpower and resources that a much larger business has, but that isn't the only advantage that the big businesses have over the smaller ones. One of the tactics that a big business often uses is buying items and goods in bulk. A large corporation, such as Walmart, can buy a large quantity of items and products in bulk for a cheap price and then sell them to consumers at an even cheaper price. Comparing this to smaller, locally run businesses, it is pretty easy to tell who wins here. Consumers see the price tag and make a choice. Usually, if anyone buys from the smaller businesses, it is to support it along with the owners, which is a testament to how big the sense of community really is for some of these businesses. But as time goes on, and newer people move into the town that maybe don't relate to the owners or know them very well, these local businesses will be put out by the bigger ones. It is important to note that even though a business may be big and successful in 1 year, it does not mean that it will stay like that for the rest of time. A perfect example of this is Toys R Us. What was once a very big and successful big box store has now gone bankrupt and does not exist anymore. This company, which many people did not see going out of business 10 years ago, failed to keep up with the times. When many retailers were making conscious efforts to shift to, if not at least offer, an online-based e-commerce website where patrons can buy products online, Toys R Us neglected to do so. Along with the fact that they only offered video games and toys, reveals why this business no longer exists. They had a small market and didn't offer products online, and they were quickly overshadowed by bigger companies like Walmart and Amazon. And what does this have to do with big box superstores in small towns? It shows that these big box businesses are vulnerable. Even though it may seem as if nothing can take them down, a couple of wrong moves can lead to a big company such as Amazon to fall from glory. So that is why these companies are constantly expanding into different markets. It is in order to make more revenue and stay alive. If Walmart never expanded in the first place, then it probably would not exist anymore, and the people that once held jobs in Walmart would now be unemployed. The idea of big box expansion being prevented has existed for quite some time. According to Mark Levinson, an economist and book writer, there were originally laws put in place that prevented stores from being able to apply volume discounts and buy items in bulk for lower prices. This was all post-World War II, but in the 1950s, these laws eventually faded out, and now companies are able to do as they please. So originally they were not allowed to buy in bulk and sell at cheaper prices. Yet now they are. This led to the rise of big box retailers and the fall of many locally owned mom and pop stores, which were ill-equipped to compete with massive companies. Now, smaller stores at least have an idea of what to do to compete with the bigger companies, but back then, no one knew what to do in order to stay relevant. And some of the small business owners might not have known the magnitude of what was to come of these big box retailers. Community is important. It is what keeps us together, makes us realize that we are valued, and has us waking up in the morning. As time went on, we have made tons and tons of advancements in the span of a couple of decades, which is faster than what we as humans can handle. Everyday improvements have been made so frequently that our minds cannot keep up, and we are left with some side effects that we did not know the severity of originally. We have already seen how technology has made us grow apart, but we haven't looked into how the so-called convenience of life upgrades have nearly as much. If we want to continue to move together as a race, we have to do it together as one community.